It began as a European quarrel and became the world's undoing. Borders hardened, alliances locked, a fuse burned silently. August 1914 drew lines men would bleed to defend. We know the trenches of the West, but the war stalked Africa. It rode the deserts of Arabia and lapped at Pacific shores. Millions marched beneath flags not their own. Fronts forgotten by textbooks, but not by those who bore them. This is their story. A war that outgrew Europe and reshaped the world. The Dardanelles, a narrow key to an empire. Allied planners dreamed of a swift strike, unlocking the Black Sea, knocking the Ottomans out. But dawn brought cliffs, fire and confusion. Young men rode into storms of steel, beachheads won by inches at terrible cost. Courage could not tame the ground. Opposite, a commander found his moment, Mustafa Kemal. "Hold your ground," he told his men, and they did. Gallipoli stalled, courage on both sides, gains on neither, so many buried, so far from home. 3 nations scarred and forged. From this crucible, a republic would rise. The gamble failed. The memory endures. In Africa, the war wore the mask of endurance. Days of rain, miles of disease. Supply lines were lifelines. General Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck read the land like scripture. With Askari soldiers, he fought to tie down armies far larger. Hit, fade, march, again. Battles flashed like brushfire, then vanished into heat and distance. Small fights, heavy consequences. Tens of thousands of porters bore the war on their backs, their names seldom written, their silence vast. A theatre stretched by rivers, ridges and rumour. The empire's shadow was long, and the cost longer still. In Arabia, banners rose to the wind. Old tribes, new vows. A revolt promised a nation. Sharif Hussein lifted the Arab flag, and Britain offered gold and words. Promises travel light in wartime. A scholar soldier took to the rails, the Hejaz line, artery to be severed. A flash, a roar, and darkness again, ghosts by dawn. But elsewhere, pens carved the future. Sykes-Picot, partition by ruler and ink, borders without memory, promises already breaking, allies already parting. The revolt won battles, but not its prize. Footsteps taken by the desert, and a region redrawn. Promises and betrayal. In the Pacific, Japan sailed with the Allies, treaties honoured, convoys guarded, loyalty shown in steel and steam. At Tsingtao, guns spoke for the Entente, a swift campaign on distant stone. Victory logged, alliances affirmed. 1919, Paris, a new order to be written. Baron Makino proposed equality, simple words, world-shaping. Applause withheld, doors quietly closed. He walked into Paris rain with a verdict unspoken, respect denied, memory made. At home, the sun still rose, but something had shifted. A tide set for the decades to come. Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, tempered in defence, destined to found a state. Gallipoli and Ankara, threads of one fabric. Von Lettow-Vorbeck, guerrilla adept, his campaign spared no burden. A legend and a ledger of losses. Sharif Hussein and Faisal, hope carried on desert winds. Allied words weighed against carved lines. T.E. Lawrence, writer of raids and doubts. Myth grew where motives tangled. Baron Makino, dignity beneath chandeliers. His motion failed, his meaning did not. The world looked away. History did not. These faces fill the margins of the war we think we know. Empires receded, borders shifted, consequences stayed. From Cape Town to Canberra, candles keep vigil. We inherit the light and the lessons. Remember the forgotten fronts, because their war remade our world.
They denied my words, but not their truth. Equality was never signed into law, yet it was written into time. If you believe dignity should never depend on borders or color, remember my stand. Follow We Are History, and let every voice at last be heard.